again. Dude, I never saw the NPC crash out. Let's see what's different about the beta build. Curious how it's gonna be different. I played this game many times before. It's gonna be interesting to see. Let's see if it gets rid of the... Whoa! Shit! Sorry, I got away. This looks normal. Either way, that is Forza Horizon running the Xenia emulator. In the beta, the voice lines are disabled. Probably. More as a recreation of the beta stuff. There's also an optional beta HUD, but it's very unstable for some reason. Okay. Oh, that looks way different.
You're entered in the Horizon Heats. The top 4 will go through to the Heats final to race for place in the championships. Set your GPS to the event.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a beta build.
Okay, now get over there and do your ride some justice.
This is dank.
I forgot to showcase event.
The beta talk is fantastic. Do you notice a lot of the textures have been replaced? It's running 60 FPS? Yes. I'm not sure if you can watch the source quality right now. Some people can, some people can't. Seems like Twitch is having an aneurysm of some kind.
You're officially faster than a plane. Can't say it louder than
I cannot hear her at all. Like this text-to-speech bullshit, I can barely understand her. By the way, is there anything else in the beta mods that I should look out for? Something that I haven't seen yet? You know what's crazy about the Forza Horizon 1 already? The handling is already fantastic. I remember when I saw Horizon 1 in like teasers and early gameplay, I was like, this is kind of boring, because all they were doing was like free roaming. I hate free roaming. I find free roaming extremely boring. And they showed off the game by basically doing this. There wasn't even a race. It was just, I think, a Viper going on a straight road, doing nothing. But one thing I want to point out, since I do have my new streaming setup, none of the Twitch issues were based from me. Like, none of the problems arise from my setup, so that's good. The logos are different on the radio stations, the minimap is different. Look at the base arena, looks different. We're doing on the base arena. What about the other radios? There we go. Pulse. The radios are a lot slower too. Trying to change challenge takes forever. It still looks like a YouTube video.
I'll stake my car on it. Come find me.
It is so bad listening to these auto-generated voices. But honestly, it just seems like a lesser version of the final release. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really find anything tremendously interesting other than, you know, the new minimap that seems just unfinished. And the missing voiceover. The next mod that we have basically replaces the soundtrack with the soundtrack that was supposed to be. It's just a beta build that surfaced at some point, right? It looks better than Horizon 5. It's not even about the looks. It's definitely about the world map. You know what I mean? The Horizon 5 world map is like the #1 critique point for most people, myself included. But additionally in Horizon 1 you do have a lot more of a festival vibe. Also you actually have bosses, so the progression feels a lot more meaningful. You know, it's a bit more gritty, you know, you actually have to beat someone instead of, you know, here's a festival, have fun. Like, you're gonna have fun anyways, right? You don't have to, you know, rub it in so much as Horizon 5 does it. And to be fair, like all the Horizons did after 1. Horizon 2 still had a little bit of rivalry going on with the guy. I think then kind of completely stopped with it with Horizon 3. Yeah, the story is like what gives everything context and, you know, gives your driving some meaning. That leaked? Yeah, it did leak. But honestly, it's just an unfinished version of the final game. Like, I don't see any differences other than, you know, stuff missing. Right? This is all the same. Excited for Horizon 6? Depends what they will show us. I mean, generally, I'm looking forward to the game, right? But I can't say I'm excited yet because we don't know anything. Right? The only thing we know, it's probably gonna be similar to the other Horizon games that we had so far. When did they compile this beta build? I got no clue, actually. The only thing that bothers me a bit in this game is all the trees are made out of cement. You cannot drive through them. I'm okay with the lampposts being indestructible, but, you know, very limited range of motion you have here. You can't cut, right? Like, it's all a hard wall. Even the previews look so unfinished. So I would say the primary differences between the beta build and the final release is different textures, minimap wasn't finished yet, and the voiceover is missing. I would assume that you can finish the entire game. I'm gonna assume someone tried that before. I think there's different versions of it too. But every different build that they found had a different soundtrack, so that mod actually lets you choose which build of soundtrack you want to have. Okay, so what we just tested out was Project Synthesis, a combination of the E3 and retail builds from a glimpse of what the beta might have looked like. But honestly, barely any different. Really, really small differences. So beta music restored is going to be the next one. This mod should have the music restored to what they had initially planned, but they didn't get the rights for some of those artists. So it's going to be Forza Horizon with beta music, basically. Hey guys, Kuru here. Check out Instant Gaming for cheap game keys. Click the link in the description below. What if they uploaded a really shitty version of the new soundtrack? That doesn't sound super high quality either. It came to Romans. Sounds like the speakers in a tube. It's a bit disappointing that they found such low quality soundtrack files. Justice.
Come hang with us whenever you feel the need, yo.
The need for what, man? Shouts to proper cutscenes. Yeah, also to a proper career, if you ask me. The last time I felt like they actually really tried. Everybody loves the orange filter, right? Is it just me or is the song heavy on the left? For you it's heavy on the right. Interesting. That'd be sick. Recompilating Forza Horizon to PC. Oh, I'll be on that bitch. Day one. If you guys don't know what a recompilation is, it basically takes the source code, oops, and then basically makes a PC version out of it. Right, you can recompile to a PC version or any other system, if you know what you're doing. Right, it's kind of the same thing that they're doing with like the different console versions, right? You get like the same game, but hey, it runs on a PlayStation and it runs on an Xbox, and sometimes it also runs on a Nintendo console. Horizon 1 is such a fun game to replay. Let me figure out what the song is called, and then I want to add it to my playlist. Set fire to the rain. Shit, I can read it. Set fire to the rain. Plastic Plates remix. See if we can find it. Funny. Couldn't find it on this Discord. On Spotify. Whoa. Ooh, I can't break this. Good to know though. You know what I love about Horizon 1? Better crash physics and crash models. It's like the Pro Street of Forza Horizon games, right? Because Need for Speed never ever reached that level of physics and damage model again, right? When someone tells you old games are better, you can show them this game and be like, yep, he's right, you know? One thing I noticed in this game in general is like the super dark interiors. Do we even have simulation damage in this game? I remember setting cosmetic damage to on earlier. I saw it on and off, for cosmetic damage. Didn't even see sim damage. I'm not sure it's an option in this game. Mod dubstep. You can kind of see why this song didn't make it into the final game. Ooh, no! I crashed into the car right on the line. RT12R. I don't like the logo. I remember this car from Drive Club, and in Drive Club it was really hard to drive. It was fast, but they balanced it out by having less grip than the other cars. I gotta say the 3-star system of the newer games makes sense, because beating the event isn't the hard part. Exactly, you don't have to follow the route at all. And even if you reach the destination, the event doesn't end. Because I was thinking, hey, maybe if I speed to the marker, I can end the event early, but you still have to wait for the timer to run out. It's very much suggested. One thing I never understood when the developers were afraid that people will not like the character. But then they just make generic guy number 5 and, nobody bats an eye anyways. Because that guy doesn't look much different than Tyler Morgan from Payback, right? It's just generic white guy. If we do the entire race hub, we get a free car. Like, the wheel spins in this game were super rare. You really had to work for it. No, why are you here, dude? You've been born and put on this earth just to mess with me here. You... Unbelievable. Unbelievable, doesn't even try to avoid his death. Evade, you dickhead! Chance, special thanks to World of Warships for sponsoring this video. World of Warships is a free-to-play sea battle simulator on PC. It has more than 600 historical ships from 13 different nations. They're designed based on historical documents and actual blueprints from the first half of the 20th century. There are 5 different ship classes: destroyers, cruisers, battleships, aircraft carriers and submarines. Each class offers its own unique playstyle for every type of player. You can also visually customize your own ships the way you like it, and of course you can put on upgrades so a ship can perform its best. The team-based sea battles will require different strategies and tactics to overwhelm your opponents. You can even play with your friends in Division mode. If you register an account with my link today, you will get an exclusive starter pack worth 25 euros. It consists of 250 doubloons, the free ship, the Kolberg, 7 days of premium account access, 1 million credits, German camouflage and the Weimar Navy flag, and Commander Franz von Hepper with 6 skill points. With all these perks you will have an amazing start into the game. This is the best time to give World of Warships a try. Click on the link in the description or in the pinned comment below. Thanks for watching, and now back to the video. Oh, this is actually really good. If you never played Horizon 1, please download it. Please download it, play it on emulator. This is such a good game. This is not nostalgia bias. There's a reason people say this is their favorite. You know, take it from me, I played all of them. This is still my favorite. I would pay a good amount of money to re-experience Horizon 1 for the first time. Not as much as I would pay for Most Wanted, but that's okay. Yay! Lobotomize the part that is responsible for Most Wanted. I feel like how the brain works, it's kind of a little bit everywhere. But you know what's fun to me? Like watching a TV show that you haven't seen for 10 plus years, you forgot most of it. Like Lisa and I rewatched Friends, and I was like, I don't remember 80% of these episodes. Honestly, I might be interested in speedrunning Horizon 1. I think that would be a fun game to speedrun. Is there a speedrunning scene for Horizon 1? I'm not sure. I'm just saying, you know, this could be a fun game to speedrun in the first place. Someone wanna look up the time? How long a speedrun for this game would be? The impenetrable concrete bushes, yup. A no money spent challenge. Ooh, interesting. Did you beat the game? I mean, you do get a bunch of free stuff here and there. I'm just not sure you can do every event that you need to do in order to progress. Beat it on normal difficulty. Alright, so it's possible. Wanna speed up the process? I guess easy would work too. Dude, I love the LCD because it reminds me of a fucking Game Boy Color. When it these green screens with the black ink. It's obviously not ink, but you know what I mean. When Horizon wasn't boring, blubbers. Well, the good thing is, if you do have a little bit of technical know-how, or you at least are smart enough to watch a YouTube tutorial, or watch a stream, right, you can set up these old games again and enjoy them again. Right, very often you don't need to buy new games. Just go back to the games that you know are good, or maybe you heard about an old game being good and you never tried it. That was a good song for 360 no-scope compilations, for sure. Dude, this ugly-ass G-Shock watch, man. Have you ever had one of those? It's okay if you had one. I'm just saying they were always super ugly. Although I wanted one as a kid. But man, are those ugly. They are super hideous, yeah. But it makes it look cool in kid size. You have a casino calculator watch? Oh, nice. Those were pretty cool too. You have a black G-Saw? I mean, in black it's probably okay to look at. But if it's like this, you know, turquoise, pink, neon red, baby blue. Yeah, no crashes on emulator. Pretty stable, yeah. I remember playing some kind of... what was the mod that I played with all the funky cars? I remember some of those crashed the game. Was it the XE mod? Yeah, that one. The XE mod is super janky, yeah. Right, Forza Horizon is just one of those games with actual soul. What took the soul out of developers and publishers alike? That's the question that I keep asking myself. Did I ever beat the Eliminator and the Mini? I don't think so. I never went for it. The challenge was definitely easiest when the Eliminator was new, when people had less idea what they were doing. It was an interesting time when Forza Horizon 4 was popular. It was one of the few times where I could actually, you know, just play a modern game and people wanted to see it too. Right, that doesn't happen too often when it comes to racing games. I do not want to get in this car. I want to get out of this car, fast. Oh, that was a... It doesn't even feel like a promotional event. Any special rewards for doing 100%? I don't think so. Someone told me there were like some super rare cars though, like some form of developer car when the game was still online that you could get. I just don't know how to unlock them. Were they called unicorns or something? Those special cars? I think it's generally a bit of a shame when a game has a percentage counter and then it doesn't give you anything for it. I feel like any game should have that. Some kind of recognition that you did do everything. Right, even if it's just a small thing, you know, a gesture is all that is necessary. Oh man, that's so annoying when you're missing like a tiny fucking bit of road somewhere for 100%. Yeah, I had that in a few Horizon games. I think my character looks extra stupid with this clunky ass watch and the wristband. Do you guys like the look of the LFA? Because I really do not think it looks good. Yep, okay, Yado and Toyota made it. Yeah, I just don't think it looks good. Do you remember it flopped because it was too expensive for its performance? OG Horizon has a very special place in my heart because it was actually my first Forza game. I had never played a Forza Motorsport. This is how I got into Forza. And I really did not expect this game to be good. The first time I saw teasers for it, it was like, this doesn't look that interesting, just driving on roads. To be fair though, the dude was just free roaming. The Alpine is actually from Horizon 2. Ah, I see. I mean, to be fair, I used the installation that I had last time, now that I think about it, so there's a chance this is the XC mod as well. But the Alpine is not very good. It's too slow. And this isn't even a high-speed racetrack. Hey, Duke McQuire, look at this guy. I finally have better hair than him. Look at this. I beat him. Or he beat me in forehead size. Gotta be honest, I was not a big fan of Corvettes ever. The new models look way better in my opinion. But like these Corvettes, I don't know, they were always so bland to me visually. I always preferred the Viper, which makes me even more mad that the Viper lost. The Viper got stopped being produced, right? Not sure if that was that song in the game. Like I know a lot of these songs, but I'm not sure they actually made it to Horizon 1. With this music mods, like I keep getting confused. And not a song, but it wasn't in this game. It wasn't. Yeah, I don't remember this one either. I mean, not immediately. Like I know the song, but I'm not sure if it's in the game or not. Okay, holy shit. Can I? Thank you. Do it again. I always wondered how much do they actually get paid when they put someone like Goodyear into a video game or Brembo. Although I would think when it comes to upgrading parts that they have like a quid pro quo, right? You get original parts and they get it for free basically. Thing is, legacy companies that have been around for 50 plus years, they do have marketing budget, right? Like every month they have a certain amount of marketing budget, they spend it on whatever. Right, it's just part of business, even if it's shitty. Even if it's shitty advertising, they will do it. That's the budget, they gotta use it. I hate these bushes, man. But do you know that EA paid for that deal? I know they got the rights for 15 years. But I really wasn't sure if they paid for it. Because obviously they made Need for Speed Porsche, therefore a huge promotion for Porsche itself. Right, Need for Speed was already getting big with high stakes and Hot Pursuit. I mean, if that was a quid pro quo, that would have been the best deal of the century. You get 15 years exclusive access to Porsche cars in your games. The roof loophole, yeah. It wasn't actually used that much. I've seen it, plenty. Like the roofs were actually some of the best cars in Drive Club. Fantastic game. Recommend anyone to play it. But the emulation runs super well. High FPS. It just does so much in my opinion. This game was locked to 30 FPS on console. I haven't played my Horizon game for a long time on the Xbox console. But yeah, 4K without 60 FPS is not that nice, right? I would rather emulate it and have 60 FPS. I always will. Like a racing game, in my opinion, has to have at minimum 60 FPS. 120 is way better. Dude, I'm gonna go on a massive spree of Xbox racing games if they make all of those games natively running on PC. Isn't it crazy that Need for Speed is getting pushed down so hard again. After everything the Need for Speed went through. Like once again, it has to stand behind or rather below Battlefield. And we can only hope we get another one. Sooner than later. I'm not surprised. Me neither. The only thing I can say, I would have let it go that far, because I knew the concept of Unbound is not gonna find a fan base. But at the same time, if management says Criterion has to make this game, then they have to make this game, or they're out of a job, right? The concept, the entire idea of Unbound, you know? Comic characters, the art style, the storyline, like everything. The way it was executed, it's unappealing. You know, I would dare to say, if I don't like it, most Need for Speed fans are not gonna like it. You know, I consider myself one of the Need for Speed fans that know what they're talking about. Right, I actually played the entire franchise multiple times over, discussed it with the community many times over. Like, I think I have a pretty good idea what makes Need for Speed games fun and worth replaying, and why certain Need for Speeds failed. But I think I have a pretty good grip on reality. So when I see something like Unbound with the trailers, immediately my gut reaction was, oh, this is weird. This is very strange. This is very unlike Need for Speed. To be fair, the game itself is actually quite good after all the updates, but it's just so late that, you know, most people just moved on. Most people just don't care about online play in the first place. And it also didn't fix the base issues like handling, right? And, you know, some people are exactly like me that will say, man, if the handling is bad, I don't want to play, I don't want to race. I don't want to race in a game that has bad handling. Oh, F125, yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I mean, I'm gonna play it for sure because it has a story mode. That alone makes me interested in it. But I didn't cover 24 because it wasn't really appealing to me. Yeah, I actually skipped F124 because I noticed that you guys had zero interest in it. Like, nobody was asking for it. You know, usually when a new game comes out, people ask for it. People ask for F124 1 week after it released. Did I see the first person asking for it? But at least this time around, F1 has the Breaking Point Part 3, so checking that out. And I think there's also gonna be, oh yeah, I can play the new team that is in the F1 movie. I think it's gonna be quite nice for the sport. It's gonna get some more people into it. I'm not really sure I care much about Brad Pitt being being the face for the F1 movie, but we'll see. He was good in a lot of movies. I'm just not sure he's the most fitting person for Formula 1, you know what I mean? F1 2012, what about him? Seems to be one of the most high-rated games. I mean, maybe Codin Masters was cooking back then and it revolutionized the F1 series or something. Sure, it's been Ryan Gosling. Challenger from Fast and the Furious. Challenger Horizon Edition. Challenger Horizon Edition. There's some funky cars here. All good, can complain. Girlfriend still pregnant. I gotta start to acquire more dad jokes. Gotta start practicing. But you, man, how's YouTube going along? Slow and steady, been focusing on streaming the last 2 months. How's that going for you? Because I found it dreadfully slow when I started streaming. Like, I mean, there was obviously a lot of timing involved too. 2017 was less competition, and I think also like a lot of instant attention that I had on the YouTube channel, like a massive amounts of momentum going on basically. Too quick. Let's take the less quick card then. Like one thing that definitely helped me out was a few things. Like, I started live streaming when I had maximum momentum on YouTube. And then I kept streaming all through the Corona lockdown. Yeah, that's something that I noticed too when I started streaming. Some very, very generous viewers in there. I mean, to be honest, they stayed generous for quite a while. 8 years later, I'm still here. I can still pay my bills. So that's good. But one thing that I did notice this year is a massive drop in subs. Like of those 1500 subs that we have right now, 800 are gift subs or so, maybe 750. Was it 725? I think that was the number. Or was it 825? Like Twitch as a platform is struggling right now. Which kind of shows with, you know, one of the first changes where they basically say, hey, you don't have any more safe space on Twitch anymore. Like I had 1,600 hours of content, or was it 6,000 hours of content? Something like that. And we basically can't have it anymore. Oh yeah, I had 6,700. And it has to be less than 100 hours of content on Twitch. Like you basically can't store anything on Twitch anymore. Like they're killing that feature entirely. So now ported everything over to YouTube for future reference. I just hope that, you know, their cost savings can be invested somewhere else in the platform. Like I'd love to see AV1 encoding. Many speedruns affected? Yeah, I mean, you just gotta start outsourcing everything to YouTube if you want permanent storage. At least I have more trust in YouTube surviving than Twitch, but that is primarily simply by size, right? YouTube is just that much bigger. But I would really like AV1 encoding, because the number one reason why I don't stream like this is because the bitrate is not high enough to create a good image. Like if you play full screen 60 FPS, doesn't matter if it's racing or shooter, like you will see artifacts, you will see blocks popping up because the codec is just not good enough. 8 megabits, 1080p 60 does not work. That was always the number one reason why I had the other overlay, because it actually keeps the gameplay more crisp. Funny story, I don't know if I told you, but I initially wanted to start streaming on YouTube in 2017, but in 2017 YouTube didn't have live streaming yet. Like Twitch wasn't even acquired by Amazon yet. Like Twitch was just doing well by itself. Oh no, today Twitch is buggy. Twitch is buggy. It should be 1080p on source, but a lot of people are not getting it. It might be because Twitch is really struggling for bandwidth right now. But dude, I've been a partner with Twitch for 8 years, right? And let's take a look at browsing, and let's go by highest to low. It's the weekend, right? So I don't want to see the categories. I mean, they don't even have too many big streams going on. Like sometimes they have streams with like multiple 100,000 views. Sure, Sunday tournaments and a lot of big events going on, but it's usually not enough to put Twitch to their knees, right? Where they struggle with bandwidth. So I just feel like, oh, it's Monday. You're right. It's Monday. Yesterday was Sunday. Yeah, it's not even the weekend anymore. So it makes even less sense that they're struggling with bandwidth today. Chris said is the best Horizon game out of the 5. Yes, this is my favorite. I'm not sure what I put in second. That one's a bit more difficult for me. I wonder if a handful of people just turned off the stream today because it wasn't in source. I mean, it's definitely more than 0, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to see, you know? It's kind of hard to say. Average viewership is a little bit more down than usual, so it definitely had some effect. The YouTube guide for my Horizon 1 setup, actually there is. The last time I played it, I made a setup for it. That is the most stupid placement for a speed trap ever. I mean, of course it's gonna crash out. Oh, yeah, another streamer is struggling too? Okay. I mean, it is what it is. You know, if Twitch would warn me ahead of time, I would take a day off, right? I would have taken a day off today, have a chill Monday, don't worry about technicalities, and just come back tomorrow, you know? Gotta say, the original 4GT is very clunky. Not what I would call a good-looking car.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
You like it? Don't. Nah. It's not, this one's not for me. Like the front's so much better. And I would say 2/3. Right, up until to the door, the car is good looking, and everything back here is just whatever, dude. We need to finish the car. My favorite racing movie? I don't even know, man. The first movie I was thinking about was GT Bang Bang and then Herbie, but I feel like they don't really fall into that category. Oh god, it's my grandpa's car. This is for you, grandpa. Oh, let's see if we can break the game. The VW Dub Club. I wonder if we get a body kit now. Oh, we did! Let's go! This one's for you, Grandpa. I very much remember his Bora. Like, I can't imagine to build a more basic ass car than this. Let's see if it's fast enough. Looks like Dirt 2. That's a fair comparison, actually. Looks a lot like Dirt 2. Gotta say, I never really had the deepest connection to my grandparents. Yeah, if I'm honest, I mean, I guess they are from a younger generation. Yeah, that comparison doesn't make sense. You're crazy by grandparents? That's awesome. Yeah, the thing is, I only meet my grandparents on like stuff like Easter and Christmas, and we don't really talk much, you know what I mean? Like we're all sitting in the same room. I've always talked like to my cousins and, you know, the parental generation. Especially even as a kid, I don't remember playing with my grandparents. Yeah, the people that looked after me were like my uncle primarily, and then yeah, hanging out with my cousins. That's how the protagonist dies at the end. Is that really a thing? Like I heard someone talk about it. Is it really a thing that they think that the protagonist dies? Guy crashes up the road. Okay. Again. Dude, I never saw the NPC crash out. You don't like yellow Ferrari? I swear they just made them to mess with Lamborghini and that's it. You know what they should have? You know what Lamborghini should have done with the red color? They should have called it horse blood. Wouldn't that have been fun? To call the red color of Lamborghini's horse blood or something? Whatever Italian is for horse blood. I mean, yeah, because it's a dead horse, a dead Ferrari. Right? That would be metal as fuck. Sangue di Cavallo. How is that not a good name for a red color? That would be like screw Ferrari with Lamborghini, you know? This fits perfectly. You cannot tell me this wouldn't be a good paint job for a Lamborghini. Horse blood. If they steal this idea, make sure you clip this so we can sue them. I would say Ferrari's too proud to call the yellow bull's piss. Well, if you're a dick to everyone, it makes sense that you have a bunch of enemies, right? Yeah, this was my first Forza though. I never got interested in Forza Motorsport. Also, I'd never had an Xbox. The first time I had an Xbox was the 360 when Blur became popular. Well, Blur never really became popular, but it became popular with me. Spent a few years of my life on Blur. That was fun. Go with the flow was cut. Oh, Go with the flow was cut, really? The thing is, it's so many popular songs that, you know, you might be like me and just forget that that was never a thing. Yeah, recently it has become harder, I gotta be honest. But we're powering through, right? Things go down, things go up. You just gotta make it to the other end. Just holy shit, dude. 3 more months for 100. That's crazy, dude. You're gonna be one of the big boys with your triple-digit sub count. Perfect song. Women, am I right? When's the last time those jokes were okay? Alright, I usually can never afford the 177, so it's time. We are Marcus from the run now. I crashed my car into the bitch. Now I'll go to prison. I love it. It's the typical car where you would want to use tokens. I think they want a few million from you, which you don't have when you begin the game. There's usually an event that you would come back to later, when they start actually paying you money. I never saw this dude being carried around. Did you see it in the background? The Maguire guy? You have to use GTA device Steam code? Well, games get unlisted after a while. You know, most racing games have obviously licensed cars like this Aston Martin and licensed music. And when the license runs out, they're not allowed to sell it anymore. Like, I can recommend right now that you get your hands on Horizon 4 Ultimate Edition before it gets delisted, or rather before it disappears from GameKey websites, because it has already been delisted, right? If anyone ever wants to play Horizon 4, get it now, while it's cheap, while the keys are still available, because eventually they won't be. On Instant Gaming you can get it, by the way. !IG. Upstart the stream and you get your hands on Horizon 4 Ultimate. Things like 23 bucks or something. 5 does have Battle Royale, but the map is too big, so the game mode doesn't work too well. I remember replaying Horizon 4 recently, and online is still available. It worked much better. It worked much better, although the game is old and has less players. You know what the problem is? I don't think they increased the density. But they have twice as big map, but they don't have enough checkpoints, right, where you can change the car. So just very often, the map was so big I didn't find opponents or I didn't find any cars, so upgrading was extremely difficult. I'll stick to the 3080 for another 10 years. Yeah, I might stick to my 4080 for forever, honestly. As I said, you know, if we run into compatibility issues with legacy games, then I'll just keep my 4080 PC around for a while, for a very long while, as long as I'm content creating, at least. An accident at work, broke an arm and a leg, but you love your job. Hey, that's good though. That's an awesome position to be in, right? It's like a lot of people hate their jobs. So, I wish you a fast recovery, dude. Nothing is better than finding a job that you actually enjoy doing. Did you hear the honk? 120 Hz monitors, they can be super cheap. Yeah, the thing is you do get quite an amazing benefit from 1440p though. Right, effectively twice the resolution of 1080p. Right, you have twice the pixels. You will notice. As long as your PC is strong enough, 1440p is the way to go. I haven't made too much experience yet with 4K, so I can't tell you about that experience yet. Yeah, like 1080p monitors can be super cheap. And even good, right? You can get a 1080p IPS 27-incher. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm using right now, 27 inches, 1440p OLED. Chef's kiss. Gotta be honest though, I'm interested in 27 inches 4K OLEDs. One of my favorites in this game, such a good soundtrack. I mean, I love IPS monitors, but I will say OLED's even better. A bit of a shame that the Switch 2 will ship with an IPS screen, but it makes sense, so they allow people, or rather enable people to buy a Switch OLED in the future, so you can sell the console again. Yeah, exactly. I mean, everyone knows what they're doing. Right? It's not magic. Switch 2 OLEDs, they actually might sell at a cheaper price than the release Switch 2, because it's gonna be that much later in the console's life cycle. I would give it at least 2 years before we see the OLED model. The Steam Deck did it the same way, of course. But wasn't the original Steam Deck cheaper than the OLED model? The Switch 1 still costs $300. Yeah, but usually it gets bundled with stuff. Let me check something. I mean, $300, I paid more for the release Switch. You know what I'm surprised about is that they still sell the regular Switch, that still people are like, yeah, it's worth saving $50 to not get the OLED model. Like that in my opinion is brain dead. The Switch Lite makes a bit more sense in my opinion because it's smaller. You can, can argue, hey, I want a more portable Switch, which is fine, right? You can't dock this thing; it's portable only. Yeah, $330. I do remember this being on a discount though. I bet the Switch 2 is not gonna be shipped with any. Maybe a week of Nintendo Online, so people can try it or something. I think the Switch 2 is gonna be successful. It might not be as successful as the original Switch because it is not as unique, obviously, anymore. And it's more expensive. So I think those two things are gonna make the console less successful initially. It might recover. It might recover and catch up to the original Switch, but honestly, I just doubt it. I think Nintendo wants a very successful console rather than a flop. Like I really do not think the Switch 2 is gonna flop because people are buying it left and right already. Right, the pre-orders are already sold out everywhere. So people are still very much willing to pay $500 for a Switch 2 with Mario Kart or any other game really. I also don't think that it's gonna underperform. I just think it will perform less strong than the original Switch because the initial price is higher. But it's an improvement over the original Switch, and the Switch concept, a console that you can have on the go and at home, that's a win. Right? That's something people want. And I think that's going to be more common in the future anyways, right? Like consoles like the Steam Deck and other portable PCs, like that kind of stuff is going to be more relevant in the future. People very much like the ability to leave their home Especially for kids, you know, that just want to play in school. Like, I would have murdered someone if I had a portable PC in school, man. The battery lasts a lot less than the current Switch models. I think down to 2 hours if you have like a really powerful game that eats a lot of performance. The thing is, a lot of people will just want to play their Switch games on the Switch too because it will look better. You like the concept of the deck, but it's huge. Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, people care more about battery life and performance of the device. But they want to play their games and they want to play it for quite a while. So big device is important to have a big battery. The PSP did not fail. The Vita failed. Dude, the PSP was super successful. Let's go to VG chart. It's one of my favorite websites when it comes to like stats. It's only half of what the DS did, but still, that's insane. The 8th generation, look at the Vita, only 13 million. See, Vita failed. That's why we don't have any portable PlayStation stuff anymore. PSP was good. PSP was really good. What's going to be interesting for me is, you know, PS2 sold 160 million, right? I'm just waiting for the info where the Switch outsells that, right? We're getting close. Only 10 million left for the Switch to outsell the PlayStation 2. Vita had the potential. Yeah, I'm not... hard to say whether it really failed. There's one thing I remember, though. I remember the Vita was fucking expensive. And they asked a lot of money for fucking SD cards, right? They had their own memory sticks called Memory Duo or something, right? They sold their own memory cards that were twice as expensive as regular SD cards. They became super greedy, yeah. And a lot of people were like, yeah, I'm not doing that. But I'm not buying a console where I have to buy a really expensive memory card. And I remember I bought the Vita when it was bundled with the game that I wanted, which was Wipeout. And it was bundled with a memory card. Right, I got the console, which was not the 3G model, which was cheaper, right? It was the Wi-Fi model. It was with the game that I wanted. It was with the capture card, with the memory card that I wanted. And that bundle, you know, was affordable. That was the first time the console was affordable to me. I think it was like 250 euros, or maybe it was 300. I don't exactly remember, but I didn't buy it before that because it was too expensive. It was a really cool piece of hardware. It was really strong, really powerful, but too expensive. So that is the one thing I remember about the Vita, that I just didn't want to buy it early because it was too expensive, and I think a lot of people felt that way. But yeah, that being said, I had so much fun with my Vita once I had it. Yeah, there were definitely some PlayStation 3 graphic type of games on there, for sure. It was the OLED Vita, yeah. I mean, I still have it. Next thing, I still need to hack it. Because I think there might be some Vita games that I missed out on that you can't buy anymore. I know that I have a soft mod on my Vita that allows me to play PSP games, and I actually replayed a lot of PSP games on my OLED Vita. Yeah, you can emulate a lot of stuff on it too. Once again, it's a handheld with a lot of stuff you can do on it. And that goes back to my point that, you know, Switch 2 is going to be a success. I do not think it's going to fail. I don't think it's going to flop. The only thing I would argue is that it's not going to be as successful as the Switch. And I think that's fine. Like, it wouldn't bother me, right? Like, if the Switch sold 150 million right now, and then the Switch 2 only sells 100 million, who cares, right? It's still gonna be crazy successful. Also, I was a Nintendo kid, right? Like, my first console was a Nintendo 64, so I very much enjoy Nintendo games for quite some time. I mean, I'm pretty much a system agnostic, right? Like, I'll play everything. Wait, where am I going? Switch also had the pandemic behind the success. Absolutely, you're right. Switch sales definitely went up because people were stuck at home, not being able to do anything. So a lot of people were like, oh, what did I do in my childhood? I played Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, whatever, right? Like, all consoles sold a lot. There's an i11 GT2 RS controller bundle on eBay. How about now? What is bundled with the controller that it's worth 10k, man? A car? I'm not really sure why I would ever pay this much, but okay. At least it's an Elite controller. Have control of 10k, yeah. Just buy a car with that money. Yeah, true. I could get a red Mark 5 GTI for that money. Yeah, true. Then you spend 10k every year just to fix it. Shit. The next thing I need to buy is a Blu-ray burner. We talked about that last time shortly. So basically I want to hack my PS5 so I can put homebrew tools on there that will allow me to install a 60 FPS patch for the PS4 game Drive Club. Like after all of those years, we finally have a PS5 that is low enough in firmware that we can actually exploit the console, execute homebrew code, and force the console to run Drive Club in 60 FPS. But in order to trigger the exploit, I need a Blu-ray burner. But I need to make a custom Blu-ray to trigger the exploit. So that's gonna be my next bigger project. But hey, once it's set up, I will always be able to play Drive Club in 60 FPS. Kinda excited. I gotta be honest, as the stream is losing subscribers, I'm not interested in casual gaming, you know what I mean? I feel like right now, the stream and the YouTube channel needs my full attention. But I just don't have any interest in playing games casually when the streaming income is declining. Right, I know there's always going to be new awesome games, but if the stream's shrinking, you know, I'm not very excited for anything else. This is not the time to relax, is basically what I'm saying. This is the time to double down. I mean, it's a seasonal thing anyways, right? It's always like during spring and summer that less people are watching the stream because, you know, they're literally outside, not watching streams, right? It happens every year. But even though it does happen every year, I still don't like it. Yeah, spring, summer is usually the time when I like to speedrun Most Wanted because it's good content, and most of the time there aren't any new releases in that time frame anyways. So it usually works out. Yeah, views are touching grass, it's an issue. His name is Cliff Ditcock. Cliff DC. But hey, if I'm doubling down on the stream, you guys benefit from that the most, right? So it's you guys probably enjoyed it anyways. The only thing that I'm considering, you know, if I'm live streaming on YouTube, how is it gonna affect what the fuck was that? Dude, did you see that? The hitbox is comically large. Like I didn't even hit that car. That was insane. Like I watched it on the replay and was like, okay, what the hell? Invisible hitboxes on traffic cars is sacrilege, man. Oh yeah, another thing that I definitely wanna... Oh wow. that I'm curious about is just multi-streaming, right? The stream to TikTok, just to see what kind of audience you can get over there. But it's not gonna influence the stream for you guys, you know, I'm just literally gonna take the Twitch stream and also put it on YouTube and TikTok and see what happens. No, I'm not gonna change the layout. I'm just gonna stream 16:9 and people are gonna have to turn their phones. I'm not doing some portrait mode bullshit. The only thing that I hope is somehow possible is sending a version of the stream to YouTube without the music that I play on my Spotify. That's the idea. Yeah, it's bullshit. I mean, I'm not too surprised the lawyers are just pointing out what is written in their user agreements, right? That you are only buying a license always. Just lawyer bullshit. But doesn't surprise me at all. So they can avoid their class action lawsuits, but it's just not the way forward in my opinion. Like you're just gonna lose so many paying customers as a publisher if you treat them like shit. Right? Ubisoft is not in a spot where they can barter with their users, you know what I mean? Like they're in such a bad spot right now, and they're setting a really bad precedent with this fucking race. I need to get him earlier somewhere. Fuck. Okay, I'm not doing that. Oh, she's fast. At least I didn't finish. At least I didn't finish with that mistake. But yeah, I don't see too many bright months and years ahead for Ubisoft after everything they're doing. They're ruining their image. It's gonna make people not buy their games after they now officially said, hey, you don't own the games that you buy from Ubisoft. We can turn you off at any point if you want to. Although they did commit on saving the Crew 2 and Motorfest with an offline patch. But yeah, I think it's a little bit too little too late and damage is done and it's gonna cost them a lot of money. This game looks fun, absolutely play it. Now that it's easily emulated on a PC, very much check it out. I mean, you can also buy a used copy and play it on the Xbox. Burnout style takedown. How fun would that be to have burnout mechanics in like popular racing games? Need for Speed with burnout mechanics? I mean, they kinda made it anyways, right? But what you mean is like a dedicated like spin-off. Honestly, I feel like it could have worked. If they kept the main Need for Speed line with Black Box and give Criterion free reign to make a Burnout Need for Speed, because we had this hybrid where both communities were unhappy. Need for Speed fans and Burnout fans were unhappy with that game. On the other hand, like Hot Pursuit and Burnout Paradise each were, you know, super well received. You know, when you let Criterion do what they do best, you know, when you let them do what they want to do, it works so much better. The way I see it, it's just such a shame when people are in charge that don't know what they're doing. Because we know for a fact, you know, that if they kept the good things as they were, everyone would have been better off. EA would have had more money, developers would have made the games that they wanted to make, and the fans would have gotten the games that they wanted to get. And it was just a win-win for everyone. If that would have happened, which obviously didn't, you know? Bad management just kills dreams, man. Dreams of the devs, dreams of the fans, dreams of the stockholders, man. Right, stuff like this isn't a zero-sum game, you know? Everyone can win. That is true. The best thing about EA is that they don't take down any kind of fan mods. Right, over 8 years where I've been playing modded versions of Need for Speed games, including the new ones, as well as like online mods for super old games that don't have online. Right, there were never any action coming from EA to take it down. Oh true, they open sourced some classic Command & Conquer games. That's cool. That's really cool, yeah. It's also a little bit of a death blow because then you know they're not planning on making anything with it. Open source Burnout. Man, that'd be sick. Get Porsche Unleashed vibes. There's a few races in Porsche Unleashed where it has like this orange filter on the screen where I would agree with you. At least with 60k I could buy a new Corvette. Oh yeah. This is the few times in this game where you actually get a free car. And it's usually not worth your time. Right, I did like 8 events, and what did I get? I got a free RX-8. Like, the 4 or 5 wheel spins that you get in Horizon 1 are completely random and can be really bad. And you always have to do like, is it 8 events? 1, 2, no, actually might be 10. Yeah, you have to do 10 events to get 1 free wheel spin. I wish there were some fancier things on the line than just a little bit of cash when you challenge someone. Actually, I have not tried out the physics here.
Like, completely. Who is Kuru?
If you hadn't had enough beating Darius and Carbon, you can beat Darius here too. There's never enough Darius to beat. Gotta make some mod for Carbon where every opponent becomes Darius. I wonder if you could do that. Somehow replace all of the in-game cutscenes with Darius and play his audio file instead. But every time a boss rolls up, it's always gonna be Darius. Your teammates all Darius. Plus all the crewmates voice lines with Darius' laugh. Yeah, exactly. Like completely erase any kind of memory of anyone but Darius. Replace the cutscenes, replace the voice files. Everything is Darius. The funny thing is the dials look worse than in like a 20-year-old racing game called Viper Racing. Shouts to anyone that has played that before. Absolutely worth playing. Because it's one of those games that has great physics, although it's old. A bit of money and a bit of his car. How biased am I towards other games that try to be different? Not at all, actually. I'm actually pretty happy when developers try something new. At the end of the day, you know, time will tell if your game was good or not, right? Like, for example, I appreciated Onrush being different. It was just not very good. Like, I didn't really care for the gameplay that Onrush offered, but go ahead, try something new, see if people like it. You said something about you see the player crashing. When is that? So one time with this preview stuff from Windows is actually kind of convenient. All I do is move the mouse a little bit. GT like HUD. True. Dude, how long are the credits? There's a certain speed where it doesn't go fast anymore. I don't even know. Do you unlock any cutscenes? Does anything happen at the end of the credits? I don't know anymore. Oh yeah, Horizon 1 Online. That's what I wanted to see. I was waiting for it. Good job, man. Guys, I'm out. Sleep tight. Do come back tomorrow for more. And good night. Have a good one. Bye-bye.